fly slash hopper pattern, a golden. The hook that I have in the vise right now is a Daiichi 2220 size 8. The thread I'm going to be using is it's kind of an olive green. It's a Vivus, very, very good brand. E14 8/0. We're going to start our thread right behind the eye. Kind of about an eye's length back. Work our way down towards the rear. About midway. We're going to stop. We're going to cut our tag end off. Then we're going to kind of work our way back towards the front. Kind of build it up a little bit. Now, for the head of this fly, I'm going to be using some elk hair. It's going to be used on the head and a little bit on the tail. So we're going to get us kind of a pencil's width cut out. Kind of get the little uglies out of it. Take your hair stacker, put the tips in first, kind of tap it on your desk. Kind of get them the same length. Pull it out. So, kind of even them up. I like to take and cut it. Now we're going to take and work our thread back up this way just a touch. We're going to tie this in. Kind of loose wraps and then kind of pull. Try and keep it on top if possible. Okay, we're going to take another little pinch and repeat the process. Get the uglies out. Put it down into your hair stacker. Actually, we're just going to repeat the process. I like this Vivus thread. It's small diameter and it's really strong. It lays pretty flat for you. Okay, we're going to kind of come in here and kind of trim up these butt ends a little bit. We want a little bulk, but we don't want a lot of bulk. Okay, now we're going to work our way towards the tail of the fly. For the tail, I'm going to be using this polypropylene. It's like a craft kind of floss, kind of yarn floss. It's like a orange color. You can pick these up at a craft store. We're going to take, we don't want too much sticking out. Kind of measure it up. You might want a little bit longer tail. It's up to you. Kind of capture it. Like that. Okay, now we're going to come back in on the tail with some more elk hair, but not as much as what we did on the head. And you're going to come in with your scissors, cut off those butt ends. As much as possible. Work our way back up towards the head. Cut a couple wraps to lock it in place. Now, we're going to take that yarn and we're going to come in and capture it towards the tail. And we're going to put a hackle in. What I've got here is a Whiting's dry fly hackle. It's a size 12. Whiting's a really good company for hackle. They make quality hackle. That's kind of like a rust brown kind of color. Now I like to tie it in with the tip on the back. I'll take and I'll cut this tip off. The good thing about these hackles is how long they are. You can tie multiple flies with it. Saves you some money on having to use more product. Okay, so we're going to set the hackle out of the way. I'm going to take that yarn and we're going to, first we're going to move our thread up towards the front, but then we're going to take that yarn and we're going to wrap towards the eye of the hook. Just kind of touching wraps. When you get towards the head of the hook there, we're going to come in and we're going to capture that. We're going to cut this off without cutting our thread. And this piece right here, you want to save this. Now we're going to take our hackle and we're going to do kind of some open spiral wraps towards the front of the hook. And you can do more wraps. It's however much you want. This kind of helps segment the body and makes little legs for it. Once we have that to the front there, we're going to take that piece of yarn that we saved, and it's going to be our kind of wing that we're going to have. So we're going to come in here, we're going to catch it. You want it to be about butt end of your fly. Take that excess and cut it off. You can save that for another piece later for your tail or for your wing. Once we have that caught like that, we're going to take the head and we're going to brush it back. And if you have any little squigglies in it, it's alright, don't worry about that. We'll take care of those here in a second. See, I got a couple little squigglies right there and there. You just pinch those off. We're going to come in, make us a kind of a collar, like that. Okay. So we're going to take some of these silly legs. I got like a silly legs skirt here. Be careful pulling it out because sometimes they break. You can use skirts off of jigs if you want. But we're going to capture that on my near side, closest to me. Kind of adjust that to where you want it. We're going to take this in, come around towards my far side. Capture that, and then we can adjust it, tie it in like that. Now once we have that tied in like that, what I want to do is I want to take my whip finisher, come in, my whip finish on the collar, pull tight, cut the thread off, a couple little squigglies there I need to take care of. Cut the front, cut your legs to however long you want. I like mine kind of a little short. Got any little excess, you can touch those up, cut them off. Now this fly can also be tied with dubbing underneath the head of it. You can tie on some dubbing, then fold your hair over, kind of bulks your head out a little bit. This one I didn't. But normally when I do that, I would also use for hairline, it's a fire orange, a little bit of sparkle dubbing in it. I actually have some right here. But this one I didn't. That is the golden stone / hopper fly. Thank you.